So guys, so something else that we are going to talk about is that we are going to focus on, this navigation tool, Navigator. So what you can do is that you have different, we are having different floors, okay? So we have ground floor, first floor, second floor. We can also add the basement if you wish to. So up to any floor that you want. So we have sections, elevations, and different stuff here, okay? So I want to really start focusing on once you have different floors, and then the way you can change the height of each and every floor. So each and every floor that you are seeing here, ground, first and then second, you can manipulate them by right clicking on this one. Then you go to story settings, and then after this you can clearly see that you can change the height. You can change each and every height. So for the first floor, you can come here and then type what you want, and then or you can insert. You can insert above or insert below, or you can delete a story if you want to. So these are something that are very important, and then you can do whatever you want. Something else that I want you guys to really understand in Archicad is that once you are creating different floors, it's up to you to decide the height, the elevation that you want to provide, okay? And then this is the elevation, and then the height to the next floor. So it means that if you take 3 meters, the next story is going to be on 3 meters, and then it's going to be on 6, the other one on 9, and so on and so on and so on and so on, okay? And then after changing you have to hit OK. You hit OK. So it means that everything now is everything is set. So let's go back to the manual grids that we created, and then we erase them. You have to select all, Control A, and then we delete them. Delete. So after deleting, so it could be better if we move our elevations to right click and then go to move, drag. We drag our elevation to our design. So suppose that this is our design, okay? This is our design. You can right click, you can select this elevation, one of the elevation, okay? And then you right click on it, and then you can open the elevation. You go to open the elevation. Open elevation in a new tab. So it's going to pop up in a new tab, and then once you have that elevation, so maybe it's kind of loading. It's loading. Where is it? It's my elevation. We fit it to window. We have to make sure that we are fitting it to window in order to have our elevation. So look, now we have this elevation, right? So our elevation, you can clearly see that our elevation is very simple. What you have to do, you have to change this dimension color. I have to change this dimension color according to the colors that we are supposed to use, okay? You can clearly see that here we have black, but here we still have blue, so we have to work on that. Okay guys, something that is very important once you are producing drawings is that you have to make sure that when you are doing an architectural drawing, you have to make sure that you understand the shadows in the elevation. So it's up to you to set. We have to go to the settings, elevation settings. You right click on the elevation, and then you go to the settings, okay? So after this, we have to make sure that we turn on the shadow, sun shadow. You can clearly see that in the elevation model display we have shadow. You know, we can customize the shadow. So the sun shadow we have to tick to make sure that it's going to be you know, it has to be there. We tick the shadow, and then we can also you know, manipulate the sun attitude and degrees in order to customize our elevations, and then we hit OK. After hitting OK, you can clearly see that depending on the where we are shading, we can have different types of the sun shadows depending on the location of the sun that we positioned it to be. And then when you go to the next, when you open this elevation, you can clearly see that there's no shadow. There's no shadow. So this is one of the important aspect once you are creating architectural drawings. And that's something else that I want you guys to focus on, is that when I ask you to produce architectural drawings, I don't want to see these grids. You have to make sure that these grids are not seen. But for the sake of construction drawings, you have to provide this grid system. But for me, I will ask you if I need you guys to provide this, or if I don't need you guys to provide this. So an interesting element is the addition of shadow. Once you've created the elevations and the sections, at the same time it also goes to the sections. Okay, you can also add sun orientation, then shadows into the sections. Okay, this is something also very important. So the next aspect. So in order to go to the second or the first floor, you have to come here to this navigator. So most of you guys, I don't think you have this navigation tool. So first of all, you have to go to Windows, and then you go to palettes. Okay, these palettes, window, you come down to palettes, and then you see the navigator. If you unclick on it, it's going to disappear. You see that disappeared. It disappeared, and then maybe some of you guys do not have that one. You could go to palettes, and then you come here to navigator. You click on navigator. It's going to show up. Okay, it's going to show up. Okay, let's do a kinda introduction on how to do with the second floor. So you can clearly see that we have the ground. We are on the ground floor because it turned gray, more kind of blue stuff, because that's where we are. And then when you look at these upper tabs, you can clearly see that you are on the ground floor. If you move to the elevation is going to become white. If you go to the 3D marquee, so and so on and so on. Okay, so you can clearly see that we are on generic perspective, which is in the 3D. So this is how you navigate through your drawings. So let's go to the first floor. Once you go to the first floor, there's nothing. Okay, once you go to the ground, you can clearly see that we have the grid system. So you have to make sure that the grid system is duplicated to each and every floor. So we have to go to the settings of the grid element, and then we go to the settings. Classifications and property, floor plans. So show on story. So it's called show on story. So we clicked home story only. So we have to make sure that it's customized to all stories, and then after that we hit OK. After hitting OK, If you go to the first story to the second, it's going to appear on each and every. You can clearly see that it now appears on each and every story. So to make it simple, I want to copy and paste this. Control A, and then I remove. I have to press Shift to ignore the grid, and then Control C, or you right click on the selection, and then you go to copy. So I go to the first story, and then I'm like paste. So once you are pasting, it may be automatically pasted, or they can also ask you to paste in the same area or in the center. You have to choose. I paste. And then once I go in my elevation, let's go to the elevation. Once I click on my elevation, you can clearly see that you have two different flows. Okay, so what you are missing, once we have the upper floors, you have to customize the stairs. You have to go to the stairs. Let's go in the ground floor. You have to also customize the stairs. Maybe let's say we are putting the stairs here. So this stair is going to be automatic. I'm like, okay, let me do it like this, and then it's there. So you have to customize. It's up to you to customize the stairs. We will look at maybe how to make stairs depending on the sizes that you want. But I think that is for today. Let's call this a day. See you guys next time. We will have a look on different architectural features using Archicad. See you guys. Bye. Ciao, ciao.